Ladies and gentlemen, Wajackoyah the fifth is spoiling the party for Raila Odinga and for William Samoei Ruto. That's the fact. His popularity is rising each and every single day. And that is causing serious panic in the two camps because their supporters are drifting now towards Wajackoyah the fifth. And the implication is that, number one, the undecided. For a very long time, the number of undecided voters in this country was standing at close to 18%. Wajackoyah, as we speak, is now at 7% according to the latest opinion polls. William Ruto would have wanted majority of undecided to decide to move to his camp. Raila Odinga would also have wanted the undecided to move to his camp. But Wajackoyah is causing serious revolution in this country. And young people are trooping to his side. Number two is the possibility of a rerun. The truth of the matter is that for one to be declared the president of the Republic of Kenya, they must get 50% of the votes plus one vote. From the way Wajackoyah is winning support, if Ruto and Raila are not careful, none of them will garner the 50% plus one vote because of Wajackoyah. And a rerun is likely to be occasioned. Raila Odinga had purposed to win this election in the first round. William Ruto had also purposed to win this election in the first round. But Wajackoyah the fifth is spoiling the party. In this video, I want us to look at why Wajackoyah the fifth is creating serious revolution within the political circles. But before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, the question is, who is Wajackoyah? Personally, I strongly believe that someone somewhere is behind Wajackoyah the fifth. And I did a video about that. You can check the video. And the fifth actually responded to that tag which I was giving him as a project.
Unaona hii mtu anaitwa sijui Makwiny sijui nini. Yeye amesema na narudia hiyo tena. Hiyo kiti yake amesema iko huko. Hata vile Moya alikuwa akisema kama juu jina mtu anasema namna hiyo. Anakuja kusema ati hii mtu ni deep state, ati yeye alipataje signatures. Yaani wanafikiria mimi sina akili, mimi sina wafuasi, mimi sina chama. For me things must be done for me. Mimi ni deep state. Na hawajua kwamba Raila is deep state. Ruto is using the state. Sasa mwingine anakuja anasema huyo Makwiny sijui ile Makwiny anaanza kusema ati sasa huyu Wajackoyah anakula kura za Ruto, anakula kura za Ruto. Kwani Ruto ndiye ana own this young man. Alafu sasa anajicontradict. If at all I'm deep state, let's look at it this way. Amen, hallelujah. If I'm deep state,
labda utakuwa,
what is deep state? If I'm deep state, between Ruto and Raila, who is deep state? Who is the government helping and who is helping himself here? Ikiwa Raila amepewa kila kitu mpaka Uhuru amesema ndio huyo, mzigo yako ndio hiyo. Na ikiwa Ruto deputy president, magari yote na pesa yote hiyo. Mimi wale watu ambao wananiongelesha ni marasta. Wale watu ambao wananiongelesha vijana ambao hawana kazi. Maaskari. Hata kwa jeshi niko na very strong following. Wasiniletee hata kwa makanisa. Pastors wameanza kunitungia mawimbo. Wale ambao hawataki ufisadi. So people should not come and deconstruct me because they don't know what they are. I'm a caricature whose formula is not known. Only God knows. Na Mungu mwenye amenilete hapa ndiye anajua vile anaenda kuniunda kuwa president wa nchi hii. Kura imeisha. Kwani iko ingine ati sijui percentage nini. Waje waendelee mpaka macho zitoke. Tutawapatia moshi siku ya watakuja State House siku ya kuapishwa. Hiyo moshi itawazindua wakiingia mandege wakirudi kwao. Kuambia Wakenya uongo.
And why is it causing revolution within the political circles? In my view, Wajackoyah is spoiling the party for this gentleman because of the following reasons. Number one, if you ask me, is his personality. You see, Wajackoyah, when he speaks, he has that confidence. And he's speaking straight.
Saizi mniangalie tu hivi. Siku ya voting, ndio mtutajua. Na I'm the next president of this country. Trust me. The way things are going, haya. Ati niseme ati percentage. Percentage ni kitu gani? Wakenya washaamua mimi ndio president. At 50% plus. Mimi labda niko 90%. Labda niibiwe kura. I've already won the election.
And that's why he's appealing to majority of Kenyans. The fact that Wajackoyah is has that kind of personality, and Kenyans are really admiring him. You know, he has that confidence. When Wajackoyah explains, when Wajackoyah is explaining how he's going to generate money from the weed, you know, he'll easily convince you. And even Murathe, just the other day, kind of agreed with Wajackoyah. There's a message which is passing to Kenya, his personality.
Talking about first round win or second round vote and even a challenge in court. There is the little factor of the Wajackoyah aspect. You laugh at that, but in the latest poll, he's at 7%, the third most popular in terms of the the poll that was done by Tifa, at 7%. Are you worried about the Wajackoyah factor?
No. Of course, Wajackoyah was on the lips of everybody. He came in with some, how would I call it? There's something you have, it's like a Dida, when they first did the election in 2013. You remember, and for some of us who were like, yes, this is a guy who tells you if you eat githeri, make sure you leave some space for water. You don't just fill up your system. And you know, he actually defeated Martha Karua and Peter Kenneth with some 60, 70,000 votes. But at the end of the day, it still boils down to the two.
And you're not concerned because the calculation, at least right now with the 22 million voters that are registered, it boils down to a 50+1 calculation or computation.
Right.
If Wajackoyah were to take maybe 100,000, you're still not worried.
The last election, Uhuru beat Raila with 1.4 million.
Right.
In fact, the first one, when they did 50+1, initially they were saying they cross over the 50+1 with 8,000. When the numbers were computed, it was 80,000. Now, coming back to Wajackoyah, who is he hurting? He's definitely not hurting our corner. If Wajackoyah was to change any dynamic, and I saw him the other day, some social media photographs with the deputy president, it is the deputy president's corner that should be very worried and very concerned because they're appealing to that generation.
Right.
They're appealing to people who are taking, they're not interrogating some of these things seriously. I like what he's saying. And by the way,
About weed and everything.
about weed, it is true. I saw a documentary the other day about weed in South Africa. But it is not your normal weed. This is medicinal. They'll bring you agronomist. It's expensive. You have to do in some greenhouses.
Even snake
or...
farming to pay off debts. You like that?
My friend, you're not telling us to grow weed in Galana instead of doing food security. Instead of growing maize,
The second reason why Wajackoyah is causing revolution is the youthful population. You know, the youthful population in this country have gone to school. They don't have jobs. Those who have jobs are underpaid. So it means majority of Kenyans in the streets of Nairobi are jobless. It also means that majority of people you see in the streets riding border border are educated. But these guys don't have meaningful or gainful employment. You know, you go to school to get gainful employment or to conduct your businesses in a conducive environment. This youthful population are actually the force behind Wajackoyah the Fifth. They're embracing him from all angles, whether they're in UDA, whether they are in Azimio, they're embracing Wajackoyah the Fifth, the youthful population, because his message of hope is resonating well with them. Raila Odinga has sold hope to them for a long time. William Ruto made promises to them, some of them when they were in primary. They were promised paid internship. Nothing happened. So Wajackoyah is coming with a solution that for me, I'm going to go to India, and this is how I'm going to deal. I mean, he's saying I'm going to, for Wajackoyah is saying for us, we are going to plant this weed, and this is how we are going to use it to pay the Chinese debts. And after that, there are certain jobs which Chinese are doing in this country. We're not going to allow them to do. So it's resonating so well with them. Number 3, I think, is his message on corruption. Zero tolerance. And is saying, if you are found, you are going to be hanged. The truth of the matter is that in this country, we have a huge gap between the poor and the rich. Majority of rich people in this country are rich because they corruptly acquired those wealth. And the people who are poor because they inherited, they don't have jobs and the rest. Wajackoyah is telling them that if I find you stealing nothing, listen to him. Even if it were you, would you not vote for this guy?
But it happens.
You said that you want to be a dictator.
Economic dictator. On corruption.
An economic dictator on corruption.
Yes.
Take us through that. What do you mean by economic dictator on corruption?
Well,
what would you do?
We shall seek legislation to hang anyone who has stolen public money. China, which is one of the most corrupt countries outside China, they hang corrupt people. And that's why there's no corruption in China. If you look at Japan, if you just think or even dream that you are corrupt, you commit suicide. And that's why you see the rate of suicides in Japan, according to statistics and scientific findings, you find out that 70% of those who commit suicide are those people who suspect themselves to be corrupt, in which case they fear being arrested. That's China, they hang you. Japan, you kill yourself. And now let us now go to Europe. They jail you. But in Kenya, you go to parliament.
So what will you do with the legislation? What will you be seeking to do with the legislation?
Death penalty.
Okay.
Yes.
It exists.
We are going to suspend part of the constitution, and we shall ask Kenyans to look into it and see if somebody can come and steal your medicine, like KEMSA, and let one, it will be a questionnaire, let 1,000 people die. What do you do with this kind of person? Take him to court, but we are lacking legislation. And if he finds himself, they find him guilty through the appeal process, what is the verdict? Put him in jail to eat our food again? Put him in jail to receive our medication again? Put him in jail to be corrupt again? Hang the bastard.
Prof, you're a lawyer.
Yes.
What is the current legal status on death penalty?
Do I care about the legal status here?
Currently.
Let me talk to you. I have so many degrees in law and I'm an academic, comparative academic, not just looking at laws of a country.
And lastly, I think Wajackoyah's entry into this race is complicating the equation because he's breaking away from the norm. If you look at William Ruto, you look at Raila Odinga, the way they've been conducting themselves, and you compare to Wajackoyah, completely different. In fact, there are two gentlemen who are doing things, who are breaking the norm. Polycarp Igathe and Wajackoyah. But Wajackoyah is coming as one of those ordinary Kenyans. Or Wajackoyah is coming like part and parcel of ordinary Kenyans who want to solve the problem of ordinary Kenyans. So Wajackoyah the fifth is likely to disrupt the party for William Ruto and Raila Odinga if they're not careful. I'm saying this because if the majority of the youths are going to vote for Wajackoyah, of course Kenyans can also lie to you. They lied to Miguna. Kenyans lied to Peter Kenneth. I don't know whether they're also lying to Wajackoyah the fifth, but if you compare Wajackoyah's entry into this race to that of Mwalimu Dida, you can't compare them. Mwalimu Dida was just excited and Kenyans were just happy with whatever he was saying. But for Wajackoyah the fifth, majority of Kenyans, especially the young generation, are likely to vote for him. And I don't know who is going to be affected the more. But I don't know who is likely to be affected more if majority of the youths are going to vote for Wajackoyah the fifth. What's your take? Bye-bye.